Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a very long time since I uploaded any video on the channel, but I was overloaded with my own work trying to get my papers published. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, my name is Durdam. I am currently a postdoc research fellow in Germany. I did my PhD also from Germany, and now I started my postdoc from July of 2023. So today I'm going to talk about how to make a cover letter for your PhD or your postdoc application. Now, I have made a video on this similar topic in one of my previous videos. So go check it out before you start watching this video. But this video is going to be a lot different. So the first video that I made, how to make a cover letter, at that time I was a beginner PhD candidate. I also was applying my PhD applications and I shared my experience, whatever I had. But over the course of my PhD and now into some months into my postdoc, I now have a much better understanding of what the professors are looking for. So I'll be sharing my own cover letter that I wrote for my postdoc application, in which I got selected and in which I'm currently working for. So that will give you a very good insight. I'm going to explain the process. So it might be a slightly longer video, but it's a very, very important topic. So don't skip it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe, share the video, and let's get started. I'm going to show you the postdoc advertisement first, the job advertisement, and it is very, very important to really understand what the professors are asking for in the position for the project. And I have seen many candidates, they blindly apply if they fit a single point that you have the required degree from the same field, then you start applying. But it's really important that you evaluate the whole job advertisement and really jot down the points, understand the project, and then really start applying to not waste your efforts. So I'll show you my job advertisement. So this was, and also for those people who keep asking, who are interested to know what I work on, this will be a good idea about my project and what I do basically. So it's a scientist position in the field of immuno-oncology and image analysis. I redacted some of the parts which are not really important. It's just some institute name and some professor's name. The institute currently operates on 76 institutes and research institutes throughout Germany, and is the world's leading applied research organization. Around 30,000 employees work with an annual research budget of 2.9 billion euros. So the first couple of paragraphs are generally the institute's introduction. Similarly, the second paragraph is telling about the institute, how many institutes they have, what kind of research they do, and they have multiple branches in Europe, how many years they are into the establishment, what is their area of work, human health, and our mission is to protect the human life in our industrialized world from health hazards and to contribute to the development of new therapeutic approaches. So these two paragraphs are basically the institute's introduction for you, and it's really not going to make any point in your cover letter. Now you go a bit more specific in the particular institute's introduction in which you will be working if you get selected. So at the Division of Personalized Tumor Therapy, this is the division in which I'm working right now of the institute. We investigate metastasis of solid tumors and develop new diagnostic tests and therapeutic approaches for systemic cancer. Those people who are from the biology or life science field, who understand the cancer biology, they would relate more to it. But the point that I'm going to make, the process that I'm going to show, will fit in every field. If you are even from social sciences, which are completely unrelated, then also you will relate how to make the cover letter. One of our current aims is to establish standardized immuno-oncology screening assays and based on patient-derived material, and to strengthen our imaging and data analysis capabilities. We are looking for a scientist who with a strong interest in drug and target discovery, image analysis, and bioinformatics to bridge the gap between automated lab experiments and data analysis. So already from these couple of past lines, these two lines, you get an idea that they are looking for someone with core bioinformatics expertise. Then these 3 points, next 3 points is basically what your role will be, what you will do in the position. So you will support the installation of image analysis platforms whose main application are assay development in immuno-oncology, toxicology assays, and high throughput screening. Furthermore, you will contribute to research projects and perform research tasks independently. In this position, you will significantly shape our application-driven technological solutions and expand high content screening capabilities at the institute. So these 3 points are the basic introduction to your job role. Some fields, some terminologies they have mentioned here. These will be the most likely data sets that you will be working with. Then what you bring to the table, you need either a master's or a PhD degree in biology, biochemistry, biotechnology, molecular medicine, bioinformatics, computer science, or another field with strong connection to natural or engineering sciences. Now here they say masters are also eligible. However, most of the applicants that applied already had a PhD degree, so obviously they will prefer someone with a PhD degree experience. And these are all the fields in which you may have the degree. So don't start your preparing a cover letter if you see you are from computer science field, you are from biochemistry field, you are from bioinformatics field. First understand each and every requirement of the project and see if you have those skills. Then second point is experience in biomedicine, cancer biology, metastasis formation, and immuno-oncology would be advantage. Very, very important point. By these terms, if you are able to imagine the project or basically the subject matter, by cancer biology, you should know what they mean. By metastasis formation, immuno-oncology, these are key terms that they are mentioning. And these key terms, why I am focusing on them, because these key terms we will also apply to prepare our cover letter. Then programming skills in scripting language like R, Python, knowledge of image analysis software like Perkin-Elmer's Harmony, ImageJ, Fiji, and Cell Profiler are highly desirable. Some background in machine learning and AI would be a plus. So this is a very, very important point. You get a lot more details about the projects, about the what kind of work you will be doing and what kind of skills you require. So you need some sort of programming skills. Some machine learning would be also helpful, and some softwares they have listed. If you have experience with these softwares, that would be of great help. Now, knowledge in handling and analysis of large-scale datasets, example HTS, this is high throughput screening, would be advantage. Interest in high content image analysis from 2D to 5D and developing data analysis pipelines for large-scale screening campaigns together with bioinformaticians would be very welcome. Hands-on experience with cell culture and organoid models as well as advanced microscopy would be an advantage. So now here they also mentioned a point, first point, where they expect or they are asking if you have some kind of a experimental wet lab experience or not, basically. Then strong analytical problem solving and interpersonal skills, and independent personality, commitment, adaptability, team spirit, and positive attitude. The ability to lead and manage research projects and perform research tasks independently. And fluency in spoken and written English, working knowledge of German would be an advantage. Okay, so let's first divide this, what you bring to the table, because we got a lot of information, into 3 parts. The first 2 points are defining the field of area. This is very broad explanation from, this is very broad expertise, or they listed a number of different fields in which the applicant can apply from if they have a relevant degree. Then the next 4 to 5 points up to here, this is basically the core skills they are asking for. Okay, and evaluate your own CV, evaluate your own profile, whether you have these skills or not. The more you have, the better suited you are for the project, and the better you have the chances. The last 4 points are more of your personality related skills. You are a team player, you are able to manage your projects, you are able to speak, communicate with everyone in the team, and you have analytical and problem solving thinking. So this 4 points are basically your personality, interpersonal skills. Then the next section is what you can expect. So we offer you an exciting and innovative research environment at the intersection of precision oncology, drug discovery, and data science. So whenever they mention some sort of these research-based terminologies, it's very important to pay focus on those, because we want to use these similar terms while preparing our cover letter. You will have the opportunity to work in an infrastructure equipped with state-of-the-art high-throughput screening technologies and make the difference in the life of cancer patients by implementing a bed-to-bench and back personalized therapy approach. You will gain insight into clinical problems and contribute to the development of diagnostics and therapies for cancer patients. You will become part of a dynamic team in an innovative scientific environment, pharmaceutical companies, biotech, diagnostics clinics, academic partners. This point tells you that you have the opportunity to interact, to kind of work in both sides, academia and industry as well. It is very important that you do some of your own research, background research on the institute, and see what kind of collaborative partners they have. And this tells me that they are obviously collaborating with academic universities and also pharmaceutical companies. So this sort of position gives you a very, very good experience of how the both the world works, research works. Then this is about the location. So their location is UNESCO World Heritage City, and they also have option to do remote work within EU. Then appointment remuneration and social security benefits based on the public sector collective wage agreement. This is very common for basically all the research-based positions in Germany. The position is limited to 2 years. However, we are looking towards long-term employment. The weekly working time is 39 hours. These are pretty standard points. This you will find in pretty much every job application or advertisement. That's it, I think. These points are basically about, they have to write these points because it's like a statement that we will evaluate each candidate equally and not discriminate. And then you should have somewhere the deadline. I redacted it, and if you have some questions, you can write to the recruiting professor. And this is the application deadline. Very, very important, make a point of the application deadline. So this was the overall job application. So it's just 2-page application, but you have a lot of information on it. And now I'll go to the cover letter making process. I'll show you my cover letter. I have repeatedly made a point that you need to make your documents, including your cover letter, your CV, adaptable, personalized or tailored to each individual position or application in which you are applying. So it's easy to say but hard to do. So today I'm basically going to explain the process, how you can use the job advertisement to make your cover letter. So this is my cover letter. You start with the standard format, then your doctor, first name, last name, your professor, group leader and the department name. So this is the position of the professor, and then the department name, the institute name, the location, and make sure to put a date. So this date is basically on which you are making the letter, or if you take like weeks to make the letter, then get the date should be on which you finish the letter basically. Mention the subject. So here I use the subject line completely. I copy pasted the title of the project advertisement. Scientist, immuno-oncology and image analysis. I used the same thing, application for, and then the title. We start with the letter, dear doctor and the last name, or dear professor, the last name. Don't write respected madam, respected sir. These things will not give you any response. No one writes like these in Europe or in US. So start with dear, their salutation, and then the last name. I divided my cover letter into 4 paragraphs, short paragraphs. The first paragraph is basically your introduction. Why are you writing this cover letter? It should be very clear. I am writing to you regarding the scientist position in your group at so and so institute. I am currently working as a PhD student in the group of mathematical disease modeling under the supervision of Dr. This and Professor Dr. This in the so and so institute in Regensburg. I am in my final year of PhD. So at the time when I was applying for this position, I was still I did not had my PhD defense yet. So I'm in my final year of my PhD and in the process of preparing my thesis write-up. I have a master's degree in bioinformatics with more than 5 years of research experience in the field of genomics, drug discovery, machine learning, image analysis, database, and web server development. Here I mentioned only those key terms which concern or which are somewhat relevant to the position in which I am applying. I have also done projects on proteomics, protein related structural dynamics projects, but I have not mentioned that because that is simply not relevant. So try to focus that I only mention those points which are exactly fitting the position. No matter if you have like tens of more experience, but the recruiter is not asking for it. So only mention what fits in the job requirement. In addition, I have published research articles in peer-reviewed and well-reputed international journals to support my skills. Very, very short paragraph in which you define the purpose, why you are writing, what you are doing, and what field you are coming from, particularly what expertise you have, and you support your obviously if you are applying for a postdoc, you should have some publications from your PhD, from your master's, or from your previous research work. I mean, you will have a very weak application if you don't have any publications to support your application. So that's a bit important. Then we start with the second paragraph. During my doctoral research, I have worked closely with the high throughput screening group in my institute on projects involving analysis of 2D cell culture and 3D organoid microscopy images. So beginning only, from the start only, I start forming a structure in which I start covering each point that are mentioned here in the what you bring to the table in the form of projects. I don't talk directly that yes, I have experience, I know about so and so topics. You have to, whenever you write a skill, you have to back it up with a proof of a project in which you have done something similar to that skill. I contributed to set up analysis workflows and pipelines to analyze high throughput drug screening data for experimental researchers in the group. Since most of the imaging data in our institute is generated by Operator CLS, high content analysis system, I'm quite familiar with the Perkin-Elmer's Harmony software. So first point I covered here, they are talking about this software, and in order to really prove that I know this, what this does, I also mentioned some backstory about this Operator CLS high contents analysis screening system. So this screening system comes with this software, and by mentioning this, I give a background proof that yes, I know what this term means. I'm just not blindly saying that yes, I have worked on it or I have experience with this. Then I have developed pipelines to analyze high throughput drug screening data from NSCLC and TNBC cancer patients using programming in R and Cell Profiler ImageJ. Now, since I could have written the full form of these terms, but if you don't need to write these, because the person you're writing to, they are already expert in the field of cancer. And these are actually cancer terminologies. This is a type of cancer, non-small cell lung carcinoma and triple negative breast cancer. So the professor would know that you are talking in the same language as they know. They would, when they read the sentences, they would know this yes, you know what you're talking about. Some of the tasks in the aforementioned projects was to identify hits from the drug screening experiment and extract features that differentiate between the control and DMSO from the drug treated wells in the high content image data. So here you give a slightly more detail about the project. Firstly, you talked about some project with minor details, and then you basically specified the aim of these projects, and they would understand what you're talking about by this if you have really worked into this project. So basically from this one paragraph, I covered some points. Let's see. So I mentioned programming skills in R. I mentioned this software, Cell Profiler and ImageJ as well. So this point, most of the points I covered in this one paragraph. And also we talked about some cancer related terminologies, so they would know that we are familiar with the cancer biology field. Now, what are you working basically currently on your current project? Currently, I'm working with Dr. So-and-so from the Lehrstühle für Experimental Medicine und Therapie Verfahren in Universität Regensburg. This is basically German for Department of Experimental Medicine and Therapy Research, on a project that involves tracking live cells of MCF10 cell line transduced by tetracycline inducible HER2 GFP gene from bright field microscopy images. This single line explains that you have a very good understanding, or you know about cancer field, you are familiar with cancer related cell lines, you are familiar with transduction related mechanisms, how to induce a gene, and so on. I employed elastic image analysis software and leveraged machine learning algorithms to develop a complete pipeline to analyze the images recorded over a time period of 24 hours. Here you mentioned the term machine learning. So one more point covered here, the machine learning term we also used in the reference of a project. The aim of this project is to identify the cell motility alterations with the increasing concentration of doxycycline and study the cellular morphology of these breast cancer cells. Further, I am also collaborating with another fellow PhD student in our institute to analyze images generated from immuno-oncology assays. This I was really lucky that at the same time I was also working on images generated from very same project in which the postdoc position is asking for. I have worked on numerous projects concerning the analysis of large-scale datasets generated via high-throughput screening experiments, especially ATP light assays, and successfully delivered results to the experimental group. In this paragraph, we covered, let's see what points we covered. We covered the machine learning point, we covered high-throughput screening experiments point, large-scale datasets. In the last paragraph, we basically explain the 4 interpersonal skills related points. We have covered the points where they ask for the specific skills with proof with the specific projects. Now in the last paragraph, we start being in the mathematical disease modeling group. This is the group in which I used to work during my PhD program. And having closely worked with the experimental researchers who are not core programmers, I have developed a good sense of communication that benefits both sides. Since my work or my most of my research work is very interdisciplinary, it is really important to communicate with the other side, with the wet lab researchers, because they generate the data and then I work on the data to give them results. So it's really important that you understand both sides very clearly. I firmly believe that my research experience of the last 3 years has enabled me to work independently and manage research projects. I enjoy working with large scale and complex datasets to extract useful information and build automated pipelines to analyze such data. I have conducted all my research work in English language, including report writing and oral presentations. Therefore, I am quite proficient. I also understand A2 level German and can speak A1 level. However, I am willing to learn the local language to further my professional career. With the core of a biologist and skills of a bioinformatician supplemented with my previous experience during my PhD work, I believe that I will be a good fit for your lab and the scientist position. I have prepared my detailed CV and relevant transcripts for your consideration and will be uploading the same as PDF files. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and then your designation, your contact, and you can also give your email at the end. That's it. Not too much heavy. Don't use extremely complex words. You don't need that. Keep it simple. I have seen many students using very complex jargons and heavy words, but they lack the actual work, the actual experience. So all the words, it's very simple to understand, and I tried to use as many terms as mentioned in the job advertisement. So this is how you make your cover letter adaptable to individual position. Now keep in mind that I cannot use the same cover letter for a different position that is asking for something else or some other projects, slightly different projects. So I hope this really helped me out. Another point that I would like to clarify about the difference between a cover letter and a motivation letter. So in cover letter, it is very specific. You mention the why you are applying to the position, and in very brief, you so basically the length is very different. Cover letter is 1 to 2 page. Motivation letter can be 3 to 4 page. Okay, and in motivation letter you write a bit more in depth. Also, don't go too much into philosophical angle because that never works. Keep it factual. Use scientific terms in your document, and talk about real projects in which you have worked on, in which you have generated results, and if you have papers to back it up, that's perfect. So I hope this video helped out to those students who write me emails to proofread their cover letter. It's simply not possible for me to proofread tens or hundreds of cover letters, so I thought of making this video. And that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing. Bye bye. Research projects. This is showing your Haida.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
No problem. It's okay.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
See.
It's my neighbor called, so to say. Okay. So the last paragraph, being in the